they don't have $1 million in the bank, right? But they have $1 million in equity based on the valuation that the last set of investors came in at. Okay, so be very clear about what type of millionaire you want to be. The next type of millionaire is the one I think people want.
Wake up, it's time to be free. Wake up, what's blind, now I see. Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key.
Wake up, it's time to be me. Wake up, my mind is the key.
Welcome. It's Julian Gordon with another episode of the Daily Jules, where I drop nuggets of wisdom to help you increase your degrees of freedom. It does not matter how many college degrees you have. What really matters is how many degrees of freedom you actually have. It doesn't matter how much money you make. What really matters is how you make money. And so today's question is a little funny one, and it is, who wants to be a millionaire? Now, I don't know too many people who would deny that, and most people adamantly say, yes, I want to be a millionaire. But the real question is, what kind of millionaire do you want to be? What kind of millionaire do you want to be? You see, a lot of people, they're out there pursuing this vision called rich. And rich has no number. And when it's not defined, right, then you end up playing the game of more and more and more and more. And that's part of one of the traps that prevents people from being free, is that they are always pursuing more and they never sit in gratitude for what they have, right? And so whatever lifestyle that you truly desire, you can actually come up with a specific number in terms of how much that lifestyle is going to cost you, right? How much is it going to cost for me to have the house that I want, the car that I want, to send my kids to this kind of school, to eat the kind of food that I want, to go on the vacation that I want? We could go cost all of that out. And I think that you would find that the lifestyle that you truly want, now you think would bring you the most joy, and keep in mind, you only think it, you don't know it, right? Because you haven't had it yet. You think that it's going to bring you joy. And that's one of the big things that trips people up, is that we think that a certain lifestyle is going to bring us joy, and we actually don't know. And so most people, because they haven't defined that, they just pursue more and more and more money, hoping that that more money will give them what they want. But it's not money that we truly want. What we truly want is what we think the money will get us, right? And so it's important for us to define what rich is, not just as a concept, but as an actual number. So today I want to talk to you about four types of millionaires. 4 types of millionaires. Because everybody says, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. Okay, what type of millionaire do you want to be? Because we have to get very specific, because when you ask your God or the universe for something, you better be very clear about what it is that you're asking for, okay? And so I'll share with you the first type of millionaire. And the first type of millionaire is a wage millionaire. And the reality is that, guess what? Almost every person in the world who worked for 40 years ends up becoming a wage millionaire. Yes, everybody who works for 40 years, typically in the United States, typically becomes a wage millionaire. So let's just say that the minimum wage is around $30,000 a year. $30,000 a year times 40 years equals $1.2 million. So guess what? Somebody who defined millionaire in this way has actually earned $1 million, but it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep, right? And so most people aren't able to work for 40 years and only spend $200,000, right? That's $5,000 a year. So there's wage millionaires. So again, this is really important for you to be very clear about what it is that you're going after, to know where the real finish line is, okay? Now, the next type of millionaire is an equity millionaire. An equity millionaire. And there are a lot of people out there who are actually equity millionaires. And what I mean by equity millionaire is that, for instance, their mortgage, right, may be paid off or be very low, but they can't access that cash unless they actually sell the home. And then there are also people who work for these .coms or have shares in companies that they're employed for and employed with. And that wealth is tied up in equity. Now, the thing about equity is that equity can fluctuate. A house value can go up and it can go down. The stock market can go up and it can go down. So this person doesn't have $1 million in cash unless they cash out at that moment, unless they sell all of their assets that have debt associated with them They might be a cash millionaire once they do that, but a lot of their wealth is actually tied up in equity, right? And so, for instance, when I look at my real estate portfolio, I have a lot of equity there. Now, when you get rental properties oftentimes require a 25% down payment. So let's just say I bought a $200,000 house in New Orleans. That's $50,000 that's just tied up in equity, right? And this is why we do a cash on cash calculation to see how much return I'm getting on that cash that I invested into the house from the monthly rent, right? So there's equity that's tied up, and I can't access that as cash unless I sell the home or I refinance, okay? So there's a lot of people out there who are equity millionaires. You might see people who raise this much money for their company and they don't have $1 million in the bank, right? But they have $1 million in equity based on the valuation that the last set of investors came in at, okay? So be very clear about what type of millionaire you want to be. The next type of millionaire is the one I think people want, but they're not very clear about, which is a liquid millionaire. A liquid millionaire is somebody who has $1 million in the bank account right now. Whether the economy goes up or the economy goes down, they have $1 million in cold hard cash that they can access in this very moment, right? This is a liquid millionaire. They have $1 million saved, okay? Now, that's not the it. That's not the end, okay? That's not it. There's another type of millionaire that I think we truly want to be, and not too many people get to, but that is a cash flow millionaire. A cash flow millionaire. A cash flow millionaire is somebody who is actually cash flowing $1 million every single year. They are cash flowing $1 million every single year. So they have a company that produces, let's say, $5 million in revenue, and then it has $4 million in expenses, and what they get to take home, either in their company's account or taken out as owner's draw, is $1 million cash every single year. Or somebody who has an investment portfolio somehow, some way, that is producing $1 million in return every single year, right? That's a different type of millionaire than this. So when somebody asks you, do you want to be a millionaire? The next time I want you to be very clear about which type of millionaire you want to be. Warren Buffett is here. Warren Buffett is here. That new .com founder, that if it's a new .com and it's like 3 years old, that founder may be here. Equity millionaires, there's a lot of people in the middle class that are actually here. If they sold everything, they would have $1 million cash, but it's temporary, right? It'll be temporary because then they would have expenses that they had no longer have an asset that's producing a value for them. And then most people end up here where they're just a wage millionaire, where they've earned $1 million over the course of their lifetime, but they weren't able to keep it. So I want you to be very clear about the type of millionaire that you truly want to be. There are all kinds of ways to measure wealth, right? Are you measuring wealth based on your net worth? Are you measuring wealth based on your debt to equity ratio? Are you measuring wealth based on your savings? Are you measuring wealth based on your cash flow, right? Get very clear about how you actually measure wealth, and then set your finish line or your goal according to how you define it, not just this vague language of millionaire or rich, all right? So this is Julian Gordon with another episode of the Daily Jules. I hope that this one has blessed you. I want you to be a millionaire, but I want you to be the kind of millionaire that you desire to be, all right? I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.
I hope these mindsets, metaphors, and methodologies blessed you. If you desire more freedom, go to getfreenow.com to subscribe to the show on iTunes, YouTube, or Facebook, and get 4 of my best courses in the Freedom School for 100% free.